Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the build. We're now on part 4 of our Enterprise D build, so let's get right to it. Okay, so it was soldering day. I got all, or most of my wires wrangled. I've got the two strings here coming out the front. I got a purple here, or dark blue, purple, whatever it is. These are my grounds, and then my leads are the other colors. This is my main. I think these two are my mains, or these two. And then this is the flasher. And then I've got the flasher and the mains here. I got a couple extra wires tied into these because these are for the neck, and then for this thing here, just so it'll make tying everything together easier. So these will be brought up. These two, not these. These two will be brought up through the neck into the saucer. And the same thing with these two. I've got a little extra wire on here just in case. Always good to go with a little extra, then you don't have to splice anything in later on. I still have to I still have to get this thing going on. I didn't like the blue, so I took it off, so I'm going to repaint this. And I need that, that needs to get mounted. I'm going to mount that here, up into here, like so. And then this goes on there, of course. Got the neck done. Well, kind of. Let's bring that in. Oh, let's put this here. I'll let it dry for like about 6 hours. The glue, at least. What I plan to do is tie to get everything through the neck here. I'm gonna drop a weighted string through here, tie that to the wires, and pull them back up through. I think that'll be the easiest way to do that. But anyways, so this piece didn't fit together very well at all. As you can see, it's actually kind of a little off. But it is cemented together. I have to come back here and fill this seam, and then some of this in here. I'm gonna put another bead of glue in here. This can be glued better. But you know, what to do is the seam work here. This is a little thicker. The didn't quite get there. Yeah, everything in here fit together all wonky. And then actually got the photo etch piece on here. It looks pretty good. And I got two little holes drilled in there. Those will light up either side of that that port. There's a little port there. So yeah, that is that. And I'm gonna get to work on a little bit of the saucer. I'm gonna bring the saucer in here. I've been working on the lower saucer. I'll be right back with that. Alright, I got some work done on the lower saucer. You can see, let's turn that light off. Let's see, all the windows are done. They're looking pretty good. Got those 4 there. I'm gonna go in and do the yellow. I gotta do some yellow painting. I got the it's hard to tell where are they. They're right here. Those don't light up so well. Unfortunately, there's an overlap, and you can kind of see this edge, so I had to paint it black. So the 4 windows up here that I wanted to light are probably not going to light because of that. So they're right here. You can see. Probably not going to light up. But everything else is. It looks pretty good. Might paint something in these windows. But yeah, I'm gonna see if these things follow the same thing, where there's yellow windows and there's white windows, and I'm gonna randomly paint some of these yellow. Yeah, I got the captain's yacht in there. A little bit of light leak under there that I had to clear up. That's why there's that there. And I'm kind of looking at this, thinking, how and where I'm gonna put my light strips. I might just put a 6 strip right in here. There's no windows in here. Just put one right here. And probably could do the same on the opposite side. I don't know. I'll have to do some testing because I don't know how many I'll need in there in order to illuminate all these windows here. I don't need a ton of light, actually, to light these up. As you can see, a pretty good job of it. So, I think that is it. Oh, no, no, I did the impulse engines. I painted them up, and I got the photo etch in there. Focus on that. Yeah, it looks pretty good with the photo etch in there. So yeah, those actually go on the other hull. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do there for the lighting for the backside there. But yeah, those look pretty good with the grills in there. Here's think if there's anything else. I don't think so. So I'm gonna get back to work. All right, so I got some work done on the bottom of the saucer. Got the captain's yacht in. I got all my windows done. You can see those illuminate there. Got them all painted. I did have some windows cut up front here, cut out right here. Don't think those are going to illuminate very well because I had to paint this black ring around here. When you put the two saucer pieces together, there is a little bit of this lip that it's kind of an underbite, and it does show through, so I just painted it black. I am having a little light leak issue with the saucer here with the captain's yacht, so I light blacked it from behind. Got my hole cut out. This is going to be a pain in the butt here because all this I almost should have. I might have to paint this side of this black, just because of this. When I take the neck and I put this on, let's connect these two together. I'm still getting you can see it there, right there. Still getting a little bleed through, and you can see it all the way around. So I could go, after I connect the two, I could go in and just fill this crease here with black, but I don't know if that'll get it all, so I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and paint the back side of this. There are no windows around here, so it's no big deal. I just slather black paint all over the back side of this. So I think that's everything so far. I'm gonna get back to work, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we got the neck attached to the I guess strong back of the Enterprise D. I still have some work to do on these seams and such. You can see this needs work. I need to wet sand it, and then I need to come in and do another round of filling here. This is a little better as far as filling goes, but the paint looks awful, so I gotta redo that paint. But that's, I think, everything for the neck piece, except for this piece up front. We'll talk about that in a second. But I do have some light leak. You can see that in this seam here, a little bit of a light leak there. That I think I could just take my brush and dab some paint into there and get rid of that. I might be able to do the same on this side, but that's a pretty thick one right there, as you can see. So everything in here, you can kind of see it. I got clear epoxy, so it's hard to see, but 5-minute epoxy, it just filled this whole thing in here with 5-minute epoxy. This is filled with 5-minute epoxy. I got 5-minute epoxy up in front here on either side of this piece here. So it's pretty sturdy. It's not going anywhere when I tied my wires together. But the main thing about this is this photo etch piece did not go in here correctly at all. And I don't think that's the photo etch piece part. I'm not blaming the photo etch piece. I'm blaming the kit. As if you can see here, this is not straight. It's at an angle. And that's not my assembly of this. That is this in general. It kind of kicks like at an angle like that. And yeah, you can kind of see it on this line right here. It's just a little bit of a kick. And so when I put the photo etch in, this edge right here was popping up. And so I had to bust it off here. And when I busted off here, it accidentally busted off here. You can see the gap there. And you can kind of see where it busted off there. And then I put this one in. I don't like this at all. So I think I'm going to take that whole thing out of there. And also, you can see there's a piece on the backside here, that little port. You can see there's a little photo etch port there. That somehow went missing on this side. So I'm gonna actually tear this whole thing off, come back in here with a file and file this straight, so that when I put the photo etch on, it actually wraps around the way it should. Hopefully. That's the goal. So lucky I bought another photo etch kit. So that is that. I am going to be, after I get all that work done, then it is time, oops, to assemble this beast. Pull these wires here and these wires here up through the neck. I still have to paint this thing, or repaint my deflector array. And that's going to get put into here first. I think I'm going to have to kind of assemble this all at once. So that put some glue in here that gives me a little bit of time to work with, just in case this is the wrong angle. So I can meddle with it and then pull these up there and smoosh everything together. And hopefully we'll have ourselves a secondary hull. Alrighty, I'm going to get back to work and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I've been working on the saucer. As you can see here, I got all the windows scratched out of that. And that was quite a few windows here that I totally forgot there was this many windows on the saucer, but there are, as you can see. So I got those all scratched out. I have to say that took about 3 hours. And if I would have had to have drilled all these out, it would have taken 3 weeks, maybe longer. So I would much rather scratch than drill. So I got some of the windows in the yellow transparent, like the studio model has. I did see in Generations there's a shot of the ship, and these lights right in here look blue. They're not, but they look blue, and I thought that'd be kind of cool, little transparent blue lights. Just, you know, just a little bonus, I guess, a little extra light. Just some color. I have the bridge on right there, and some of the windows are lit up. I do have a hole right here for my blinker, which is in paint drying, but my blinker will go, the fiber optic will go up through here, which I can easily do from down below. You can see the holes right there. I did, this area here these are supposed to be turbo lifts. I think that one is too. But I always saw this as kind of also Captain Picard's ready room, because he always went off to the side of the bridge. So I put that little, let's see if I can do this, see if I can show this off. I did scratch out that little window that Picard looks out of in a couple episodes. Thought that would be kind of a neat little, I guess, Easter egg. I did get my shuttle bay in. You can see there's my shuttle bays, and I do have little tiny shuttles in there. I have some more towards the back too. I did get these photo etch pieces in. Got those in, got them all light leak pretty much taken care of. I see a little bit of light leak there. I'll have to redo that edge, but they're pretty nice. They're a little part of the hull, but that's okay because we're putting decals over them, so I don't really mind. But yeah, there's the shuttle bay, and here's what it looked like from the inside. Just all light blocked it, but yeah, I got the shuttle bay in. I got my little holes drilled where they're for my nav lights. There's one there. There's the one at the front here, and then there's the other one over here. I drilled them on the bottom too at the same time. You can see here. Yeah, I don't know if I showed this. Did I show off the yellow windows? I don't know if I showed off the yellow windows, but this was yellow windows too. So what I did is I just put these two pieces together, which is actually not as easy as it sounds. I know it sounds like, oh, you just put these two pieces together, but they added some pins. So I think that's it, though. Yeah, of course it goes together easy this time. Anyways, what I did was I put the two sections together like this, and then I taped off the four corners, or the four directions, and then I drilled through from the top, and then I just kind of drilled a little bit into the bottom. I just enough to mark where the place was on all three. And so from there I just took the top, bottom apart, and I finished drilling the holes. When everything's lined up, you can see right through. So now what I have to do is start on my lighting, figure that out. I'm hoping what I can do is just put in, because this is a nice open area where there's no windows, like right in here. It'd be nice to put a strip, an LED strip, a 6 strip right in here. But I think I'm going to have to augment that. I think I might have to put a couple of 3 strips on the sides here, maybe one up front somewhere. Probably around where the phaser array is, just because that's where there are no windows. You can see where the windows are shining through there. You can't cover them up. So we need to figure out our lighting for the saucer and, of course, the top. The thing that's difficult, though, is you've got all these edge windows, and then I might have to actually put some lights on the edge here around. There is enough room, because you can see the saucer actually has a lip here, a pretty decent lip. It's probably almost a 3 mil lip. So I'll be able to fit them under there. It's just how many, where, and what. So that is what I'm gonna start doing here, is thinking about my lighting for the saucer. I also need to get rid of these parts here and start working on these impulse engines. So I get back to work. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've been working on the secondary hull here. I think this is pretty much ready to be assembled. I think I got most of the light leaks. Took care of the one down here. Took care of the one on the edge after I sanded and refilled that edge. Same thing on this side. And then the seam that goes here. All I had to do, and I redid this. I didn't like how this looked, so it's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but this is better. But all I had to do for this is put the replacement piece on here, which is drying in paint right now. I shouldn't be touching any of this. There's a lot of paint on here. That's why I'm touching it down here. But yeah, she is almost ready to go together. I did get some paint on, where is it? My deflector array. And so right now that's what she's looking like. I think I'm going to put a few more coats of that paint on there. And then I'll be ready just to set that in there, and it goes kind of like that. Something like that. But yeah, she needs a few more coats of paint. Alright, gonna get back to work. Okay, well, I am waiting for some paint to dry on the, on this piece here. I got some painting done on this this leading edge. I got some light leaks filled. Same thing on this side. Light leaks filled. Repainted this leading edge. So I'm waiting for all that to kind of get a little drier. And while I'm doing that, I am addressing my saucer lighting. So here's what we got. We got 2 spaghetti 6 strips. That's 6 LEDs. And then we got its counterpoint right here. These 2. Now these 2 will be going on the top of the saucer, or top saucer half, pointing downwards. And then I got a strip of 12 LEDs, and this is going to go right along the bottom, pointing upwards, because there's that big section in the middle where I can just run a whole thing of these and not run into any windows or pretty much anything else. So what I'm planning to do here is temp these in place, not use the tape from this, just tape them down with some painter's tape and run some wires to all of them and put the halves together and do a lighting test. I just did a lighting test on the secondary hull, and everything looks great in there. I hooked it up to the adapter I'm going to be using for the final, and all the lights look just fine. So now what I need to address are the ancillary lights, like our nav lights. And to that, I've got 2 3 mils soldered up, and I got our resistors on here. I soldered these up, resistored them. This is actually a white bulb, clear bulb, that I had to paint. So I just took some green and blue transparent paint, or some yellow and blue. I ran out of green, so I took some yellow and blue, and I mixed them together, and I got a green, and it works fine. And let's just test it out here, or show you rather. I've already tested it. I know what it looks like. You don't. But that is green. And then we take our sleeve. These are our 13 half mil holes in there. 3 mil sleeve hole in this, and we put that in there. Just slide it on the top. We take a little bit of fiber, and let's see here. You can stick that in there. There we go. And as you can see, coming up the end here, it doesn't look very green, but trust me, it's in person. It is. The roast was definitely green. You can see the green on the inside of my hand. That's about what the color it is. A little bit more intense than that, but yep. So that is that. Got one green, got one red. The only part now is to put them on the right side and not be dumb. Correct sides. And yeah, here's the other sleeve. It comes in 2 pieces, but you just do this and do this, and we just slide these 2 halves together. And the reason it comes in 2 pieces is because I got another sleeve. I just use the same end here. My other sleeve is a 5 mil sleeve, and I think it's the same thing. Oh well, whatever. I got a 5 mil one too, but just do that. And these things, you don't even need to glue these. That's the nice thing I like about these, is just I can't even get this back off. I got the tolerances really good on these. You got a little wiggle room with the LED itself, just because, you know, accidents happen. So in case you need to pull out a burnt bulb. But yeah, there we go. So these are ready. I just got to find a place inside the saucer to mount them. I think I'm going to mount them. I think I have a little bit more space on the top, because the bottom, it's got that edge, that the flat edge. It's got the flat edge, and then it goes into more of a bowl shape. So I think I'm going to mount these puppies on the top and run a couple of fibers from them. This can get thrown away. And then we have our engines, our impulse engines. And for those, I built some sleeves and some transparent pieces to go in the middle. And I had to build 2 pieces. Well, I just had to mirror them. So I'm not sure if the original kit is like this. I could go look right now, but I forget. So these have, if you look at this, this recess is for a little area that kicks out from the saucer. I don't remember this little notch being in it, but it is. And because of this notch is why I had to build 2 different ones and mirror them. You need to go away. So, also it's at an angle. If you hold this straight down, flat down, you can see you've got quite an angle, a 25-degree angle. So it took a few iterations of this, is what I'm saying. Got the little notch cut out, and we put that into this piece. You get your sleeve. We take the clear piece. We slide it in there like that, and they can slide in and out of there pretty good. And then we take the kit piece, and that just slides on top of that. You can see the angle is accounted for. And then we grab a bulb. Here's my bulbs. Put that puppy in the rear. Oop. Yeah, these do need to be glued. And then light it up. Let's see. Which side is the red? Nope. It goes the other way. Okay. There we go. And it doesn't look that sourcey in person, of course. There's no white spot, but it does look pretty nice. You can see it goes out to the sides. So those are our impulse engines. I've also left a little bit of a, because we're gonna have to cut that notch out. I left a little bit of a lip, not around the bottom so much because there's not a notch on the bottom. It's just flush with the hull. but I have left a little bit, you know, on the side here and on the top, so you have some gluing surface when it goes to getting it on the hull. So I'm just gonna take my Dremel and cut out that top. So here we have, let me think here. This is the starboard engine, and let's just put the port one together really quick, show it off. Let's see here now. This goes like this. It's nice that it has that notch so I can key it, so I know exactly which way it goes. There we go. There's the starboard engine. It won't fall apart, but it is will need to be glued. Well, there we go. And again, you can see I got a little edge there overlapping. So actually, this edge is going to be on the bottom because it was mirrored, which isn't a problem. There is a little bit of a bottom niche you can get it into, and the side. I think yeah, I am gonna. Well, yeah, I can get this on the top too. Oh, there is a little bit of a. Yeah, I do have some surface area on the top too. So I'll have to figure out a way to glue this one in. I might just have to adjust this. I don't know, or glue it on the bottom. One of the two. So there are both of our impulse engines ready to go, and now I'm gonna start. I guess I'm gonna start installing the lights in the saucer, and I'll be right back with that. Okay, moment of truth. Everything's ready for us to put these two halves together. I got my neck and strong back LEDs tied into the mains right here. I have my deflector array ready to go into place. This is just set on here, but I will glue that into place. I have all of my wires for the saucer run through, and they are all taped together. I'm very paranoid about these. I don't want these to, while I'm putting them together, I don't want them to pull back down through the neck. Well, I've got epoxy everywhere, and I'm trying to fit these two pieces together. That would not be a fun time, so I took a big old chunk of tape, and I taped these 4 wires off. So yeah, I'm going to glue this in first with a little model glue, because I want the working time. I want to just be able to maneuver this if I need to. And then I'm going to take a bead of 5-minute epoxy, and I'm going to run it along the leading edge into here, around here, and then back around this leading edge. And then probably back along this too. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. The only thing I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for paint to dry. I noticed this edge here, which you will see under the deflector array, didn't really have any paint on it. It had a little black paint on it, but it didn't have anything else. So I put some blue paint on there, and it is drying. So I gotta wait for that to dry, and while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to work on some other stuff, like getting these together. I got the flashers together. They're glued together. I'm just gonna get some fiber into these. I've already measured out how long I need and where these are gonna go in the saucer. So what I'm gonna do now is glue these fiber into place, one on the bottom, one on the top, and paint these black. Light block the ever-living snot out of these. So that's what's going on right now. And hopefully when I'm back, this will be a singular piece, and maybe we'd even do a light test on it. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, the secondary hull is together. I have my rubber band holding it in place. It really doesn't need to be there. The epoxy is pretty dry. Here's where I put the epoxy out. You can see some of it in there. It's a little tacky, but it's pretty dry now. What I did is I just put this, or slathered it into the back joint here along the strong back, and along the sides, and along the bottom here. And I put the rubber band on, and then because you can't really get clamps around the sides of the deflector, I just kind of held it in place until it got dry enough not to come undone, and it stayed right where we're supposed to. We do have some things to address. We do have a light leak along this seam here. I think I'm actually going to paint that black, that flat black in between that seam. I do have this little seam to address. You can see a tiny little seam there on both sides. It's nothing major. What else do we have? We have this seam to address right here by the photo etch a little bit. I might just fill that with paint, actually. It's so thin, you could probably fill it with some thick paint. And, oh yeah, the deflector dish. A little gap. A little gappy. There, you can see it there on the left side where my thumb is. There. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there I gotta fill somehow. But outside of that, it's pretty much done. Now, I think I want to get a clear coat. After addressing those issues, rather, I'll get a clear coat on this. And I want to start the decals. I want to get the decals on this done. And then I'm going to do up the saucer and get the decals on that done. And then we'll hopefully attach them with no problems. I'm going to slather this in more epoxy, I think, and then get those together. So, I will be back. I think I'll be back with some decaling, all right? See you in a second. All right, before we get into those decals, I wanted to just show this off real quick. I got everything pretty much taken care of. Got my gaps filled. Got this trench filled with paint so it doesn't light leak. I filled the corner here of the deflector dish. And then I put this on top. Just tape the top of this off because I'm going to spray and clear on. I'm going to pretty much do it willy-nilly. I don't have to pay attention to this. And I do want this bare plastic to attach to the lower saucer. I don't want any clear on there or anything that's going to get in the way of this bare plastic, hitting bare plastic, and that epoxy taking root here and sealing this and making this nice and solid. So that is that. In the meantime, I've been working on my saucer. I did my lighting test with the long, I think it was a 3, 6, 9, 12 strip here, and my 2 6 strips. The 6 strips worked out great. This illuminate, here, let me grab the saucer. It's over here right now. Let's grab that puppy. So, that illuminated the center very well. Let's see. You can see some. So it illuminated the center very well. A little dim on these lights here, but after looking at the studio model, it's kind of how the studio model is. I'm pretty sure that, or I'd be willing to bet that they lit that studio model with a big old neon tube right here in the center. And if you actually look at the ship, these lights illuminate just a little bit brighter than these lights, and that's kind of what I had going on, and I think I'm going to go with that. It's not that these are dark, they're still illuminated. It's just that they're not as illuminated as these lights up here. So I think I'm going to go with that. The other thing I noticed when I was testing the lights is I had a lot of light leak. And pretty much all of these, I guess I only put 1 coat of paint on here. I totally forgot about that. 1 coat of paint. Do not do that. Put 2 coats on here. 2 coats of the top coat. That's what I did for the engineering hull. But anyways, I was getting light leak in all of the grid lines, and some of the sections were just lit up. Some of these panels were just, you could see the outline, like the edges were illuminated. So I went in and I light blocked the snot out of it with some black paint. This is, I think, 2 coats. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a few more. See, I scratched that right there, but yeah, that's still drying. You can see the right there. So yeah, I painted this. This is a couple coats. Again, I think I'm gonna do 1 more coat once this officially dries. Same thing with the lower saucer here. Let's grab that. And this is really still drying. I just painted this, so I was getting light leak all over the place. Like these little shapes in here, you could see light in each of the little scribe lines. And this thing too. This thing was pretty much illuminated right here. So fix that. And yeah, the bottom lights look pretty much like this. They look perfectly fine. So I think I like what the lights are doing right now. What else have I been doing? I got all of the navigation and the blinky flashy. They're over there on my paint booth. They're drying. I got a bunch of tulip on them. I got my impulse engines because I think that's the next thing I'm gonna do on the saucer. I got them. I just put all this tulip on here. I don't really need it on the top or the bottom or the sides. It really doesn't kick out there. I just needed it on the back and that LED. And even then, it's not like a ton of light in the saucer. I just wanted to make sure Yep, and of course I'm getting it all over the place because it's wet paint. But anyways, yeah, so I got those done. I got these. Got these in here, the clear pieces. And I think that's it. Maybe after I get that next coat of paint on there, maybe what actually I'll do as far as this goes, because it's going to take, there's a spray paint. I just did some brushing of spray paint on this to get it all, to get all the light leaks, and it's probably gonna take a few days to actually dry. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think on my saucer now, I'm gonna get into doing the phaser arrays. These are the last two big phaser arrays I have to do, and that's the last major construction I have to do as far as that, as far as the photo etch, are those phaser banks on the saucer. So I think I'll get going on those. Alrighty. And that's about it for the update. I'll catch you guys in a second. Alright, I actually have the saucer together. It's all wired up. I've done light tests on it. Everything works. And I now have it together. Still a bunch of work to do, of course. Still have to do the, got some schmutz. The phaser strip here. I do the photo etch for this phaser strip, and the one on the bottom. I have some major light leaks to fix on here, namely back at these impulse engines. There's lots of light leak on the top and bottom of these. I should have hit it with a couple more coats of light blocking. I can see the red through the gray here. We'll just do some painting. That won't be a big deal. But I think those are the major things I have to do to the saucer. Is fix light leaks. There's light leaking through, like right here, this section, and this middle bar. There's light leaking through here. That's not a big deal. I got to go in and paint it. Got a little glue there, overhanging. There we go. But yeah, so that is it for the saucer right now. Okay, so I have the tube painted, and it is currently drying. I have some 2-part epoxy in there, actually. Here's a little boogie of what's left over. It's still tacky. When this boogie gets all hard, I'll know that that is completely dry. That's why it is here. But I got this painted. I got the wires. I did braid them. So everything on here is ready to go. I wanted this like this because when I go to do the clear coat, I want to be able to hold it by something, as opposed to just having it on its top or bottom. And then when I'm done clear coating it, I can just hopefully carefully slide it onto the base here and let it dry. At least that's the plan. So that is what I'm doing right now, waiting for this to dry, and that has become the theme of this week, waiting for stuff to dry. I've been waiting for paint to dry. Now I'm waiting for this to dry, and then I got my clear coat on. That shouldn't take too long to dry, but yeah, so we're just waiting and waiting. I'll be back with more. Alright, so I ran into a problem here. I did a light test on this in a completely dark environment, and I was getting light leak. I knew I was going to get light leak around the impulse engines and around this edge here, and that didn't bother me. But what I didn't expect is the light leak I'm getting through the hole in here and in here. So I'm going to have to add at least one more coat of paint on this, probably 2, and then re-scratch out and repaint all these windows. So yay, fun times. It's not leaking through on the top though, luckily, and I do have this masked off just in case. And while I'm hitting this, I might as well actually just take and get this entire edge done here, spray that. So it I might have to wet sand at this edge here where the paint or the tape is, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, that's the plans for today, is repainting the hull. Whee! I am decaling. Actually, I just hit these decals with a coat of gloss. As you can see, they're nice and shiny. Unfortunately, we did get some silvering down here. You can only really see it in the right light, but there is a little silvering. And to help hopefully alleviate that, I put an extra amount of gloss on the top. You can see how nice and shiny that is now. So hopefully We won't get that when we do our top decals. But anyways, all these are dry. I still have to go back in and repaint some of these windows just because decals went over them, like right there. But in the meantime, we have kit decals to put on. So we have these puppies. Yes, all of these. I'm also holding my camera because that is my tripod and it is apart. It is broken. I broke it. There was a screw that's stripped or a nut that's stripped, and I went and bought some nuts, and they are not the correct diameter externally. Internally they work fine, but it's supposed to fit one up into here, and it does not fit at all, so I have to buy some more. Anyways, I was going over and picking out all the decals I need for this here. So we got some that go on like these go on an Ancillary here, and on the bottoms we have got some teleporter pads that will be going on the neck and on the hull, and a couple back here. We have some thrusters. There's 8 thrusters because we got 4 to put on. 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top of each nacelle. And then we have some assorted other stuff in here. But I was going through the instructions, and there's a couple of errors. Thus far, there are a couple of errors. So, here we go. On the nacelles, there are little bands of red that go around here. I'm actually going to have to wait to put those on till I put the top on, and that Aztec decal meets here, because this is where it goes. It goes over this and the Aztec decal that will go on the top of there. But regardless of that, they want you to put 9 on one side and 11 on the other. See that 11? Well, here's the problem. There are the 9, and as you can see, there are 8 9s. Perfect for the nacelles. You got 2 on each, right? Or more. Let's see here. Yeah, you're getting 2 on each. So actually you should only need 4 instead of 8. So they might give you extra, or if the 9s might go other places. I don't know. I think they gave you extra because I didn't see a 9 anywhere else on here, really. I could be incorrect. But anyways, here is 11. Right there. And there's 10. The problem with that is 11 actually goes right here on the neck in front of that little transporter pad. And and 10 goes on the saucer on the other side of that. See right there, that's 10. So there's only one 11. That's it right there. So in the instructions, I am going to say that means 9, not 11. Because, again, they go over all the nacelles. That is number 1. Number 2 is the underside here. So we've got number 54, 53, 54, 53, 53, 53. And the nice thing about these light bolts, I mean, look at all the light bolts I got to put all these on. It's going to be kind of a pain, but the nice thing is these are in sections, and actually some of these sections are curved to go with the hull. So it's going to be a little less painful. And my problem is 54. 54 does not exist on this decal sheet. I have looked up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. What does exist is 52 right here. There's 4 of them. Individual ones. The rest of these are not individual. The rest of these are at least pairs. Like 47, pairs. You got 48 over here, I think. 48, those are pairs. Everything else is paired up. Except for these, 52. There's 4 individual ones. And over here, 52. These individual ones. And so I went around looking for where, because there's 2 sets of them, I think, okay, well, there's got to be more 52s around here. Let's see what happens when I look for 52. Well, I find 52. On the underside of the saucer. Right here. See that long section? That's 52, which confused me. I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. Until I read the decal sheet and realized that's 52. And there should be 4, because they go, those 52s go in the 4 quadrants, as most of these will do. These will be quadrants, just because of the curve of the hull. So you got 52, 52, 52, 52. So, these decals right here should probably be labeled 54. Because there's already 52. So these should be 54, and I don't know. Another 54? Don't know. Because there's no, at least I haven't seen any other place where there's a singular lifeboat on here. They're all paired up. There's 2 next to each other at least, and then you get the 4 and the 5s next to each other on the hull down here. Looking at all these, there's no individual ones, except right here on the underside of the hull. So this is 54. These should be labeled 54, and this 11 should be a 9. I think that's it for the errors I found thus far. Hoping that's it, because that is a lot. A lot. I think I'm going to have to cut these out and place them on the hull just to make sure that they go where they go and what they are, or at least look at them, because you got sections that are 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s, and hopefully they'll match up with that. There's 6s too, 44 here. These are all 44s and there's 6s. So, yep. I'm going to get started on the underside here, putting all of these decals on, and be back when I'm done. Okay, so I got the Aztecs down on the top of the drive section here, and I just got all the kit supply decals, like the thrusters here, the pennants that go there, and here along the spine, and over here, and then these things too. I got a photo etch under there. I currently have microset or sol on here. I'm trying to get these all set in. I got some other stuff to do. I gotta cut out some more of those decals. You can kind of see them hanging around there, and on this side too. But otherwise, she's looking pretty good. I got it all pretty much done for, again, the drive section. Now all I need to do is get a coat of clear on here, some matte clear. Just making sure my thrusters there are on. Got the Enterprise there. Got the number there. Oh yeah, so I am just waiting for everything to dry. Got the 2 and 3 numbers on the back of the shuttle bays. So I'm just waiting for it to dry, and then I'm gonna throw some matte on it, and it'll be done. And I get back to work on the saucer. The saucer is still drying. The paint is still just the teeniest bit tacky, and I don't want to be working in and get my fingerprint in the paint, because that'll happen, knowing me. So I think this is a good place to call this video. We got quite a bit done. So I'm gonna start off next time. I'll show you what this looks like with the matte coat on it, and we're gonna start off with finishing up the saucer and getting the 2 halves together and finishing this puppy up. So I want to thank all my new subs and old subs. You guys are equally rad, and until next time, you guys take care.